Everyone feeling? I know there's been a bit of illness around the place. Nearly didn't come myself because of it, but
Yeah.
how is everybody?
Well, we've still got a few players who are not 100% and a couple who've missed training today, so we're just going to have to really wait and see, how they are for Saturday.
Yeah. Um, the last two games, well, last three games, but over the Christmas period, good results seems to have really galvanised the football club. Is there a good feeling around the place at the moment?
I think if you're getting results, then I think there's always a good feeling around any club. I think the key is to try and keep that feeling, all the time, because you're going to get bad results during the season, and you're going to get performances which are not great. So that's the time when people have got to pull together. You expect when you're getting results, everything's much rosier in the camp, but over the season you get setbacks, and you've got to overcome those.
Is it just about that though? Is it just about results? Is it about maybe having a routine, a bit of a structure? Have you been putting that in place since you came in?
Well, like I say, I don't want to. I'm not here to really comment on what's gone before. We've just come in, and you try and do your job, and you try and be fair with everybody, and I expect them to work hard, and it's really simple. I expect them to work hard and give their all on the pitch, give 100%, and do all the things that you'd expect in terms of effort and commitment. And if they do that, then I'm happy with that. You can't legislate for people having an off day in form or decisions that go against them. But as long as they show me that they're willing to work, then I'm happy with that.
I don't want to make this question sound blasé, but you've made it look pretty easy since you've come in.
No, I wouldn't say that at all. I suppose it's when you come into any club, it's a daunting prospect when the team's struggling, and there's a lack of I would say belief in the camp, and you know that it's a big task ahead, and it's also because of my connection with the club, and because I'm desperate for the club to do well, and I have a feeling for the club, then of course you're under added pressure, I feel, as well. So it's certainly not easy. It's always a stressful time until we're actually safe and secure in the league. It will be like that until we're in a position where we can say we've achieved what we want to achieve. But nothing in football is easy, and at the moment we've strung together a few results, but we've not done anything. So there's nobody getting carried away, and we've obviously got the hardest fixtures coming up.
You've had a lot of compliments over the last few weeks. You've had Carlisle fans, I know, on social media talking about how good a team Port Vale were when they played there. Colchester fans saying the same thing, best team that they'd seen at Colchester this season. I think Mark Robbins, one of your peers, was talking about Vale aren't a pushover anymore. When you hear that, you must know that you're doing the right things and things are going well for you.
Well, it's the players who have to deal with a lot of stick, I suppose, when they're not doing well, and they deserve the credit for the way they've responded since we come in and since I've been here. They're doing the job on the pitch, and they're working exceptionally hard. So I think it's nice for opposing managers or supporters to recognise that the players are doing a good job.
Yeah, we talked about that galvanising of the club. Is that not just from you? That's from everybody, from top to bottom. We saw a video at the weekend on Boxing Day of John Rudge, shaking the hands of every player when they'd come off the pitch as well, staying behind to do that. Is this something that he does often, and you appreciate that little bit of support?
I just think that as a manager, you can't predict what's going to happen in the matches. You can't say you're going to do anything or results are going to improve. You can't guarantee that. Nobody can. What you can do is you can try and create an atmosphere around the club which is positive. You can try and involve the local community more, and you can try and interact more with supporters and people, and there are things that you can do and that I'd like to do, but unfortunately the results in that you can't guarantee because nobody knows, and you've got every other team in the division trying to get results. So that's something I would never say we're going to do, but we can certainly make the club, I would say, a friendlier club, more involved in the community, and more accessible in certain ways. And I think there has to be a humility amongst the players and everybody who works for the club, because it is a privileged position to be in, to be a footballer, and I think players have got to realise that, and you've got to get some affinity between supporters and players, and if you get that, you get everybody pulling in the right direction, which is certainly what we need.
And when you hear an atmosphere like you did on Boxing Day against Coventry in that win, you know that actually everyone is pulling together, and you want to hear more of that here.
I think everybody wants to be involved in sport because they want to get big games, and they want to get occasions where you get big crowds. I think we all want that. So the more people that come to the games can only benefit everyone. Certainly, if you get a buzz in the ground, and I think it helps on the pitch. But the only way we can do that is by getting results and by the players putting in performances which makes supporters want to come back.
You're keen to strengthen your squad and improve your squad in the next month or so. How are you looking with that? I've got a couple of names, Whitfield and Gunning, written on the notepad. Can you tell us any developments in that area?
I've spoken to Gavin today, so obviously it's something that needs to be resolved over the next couple of days. And with Ben Whitfield, I spoke to him yesterday, and we're just waiting for Bournemouth to have their meeting, which should be today. So I'm hopeful that I'll get a bit of news on the next couple of days. But they are both players I'd like to keep. But there's always obviously two sides to that, and it's got to be down to the player as well.
Can this be just a bit of a frustrating time because you just want to get it sorted out, or do you appreciate the patience that's got to be involved?
I think when you're trying to sign any player, it's frustrating because it's not something that just happens overnight, and there's a lot of considerations have to be weighed up by the player as well. So as a player, you're only looking after yourself, but obviously as a manager, you've got all the players to look after, and obviously other potential targets that you need to speak to. So I think signing any player is frustrating, but hopefully we'll get the right outcome.
Yeah. Have you spoken to the chairman much about the next month and your ambitions for the transfer window?
Well, obviously we speak, not all the time, but he knows what we'd like to do, but now's not the time to make any hasty decisions that are not going to benefit the club.
Do you feel though that you've got the support in that area for what you want to do to build the team going forward? Is it just difficult with midway through a season? It might be easy to do perhaps, say, in a summer, in a pre-season.
Well, unless you know different, what players do clubs in January? They want to get rid of all the players they don't want. That's the reality. Would I let any of my players go who are the ones that I want? No, I wouldn't. Who are you trying to offload? You're trying to get rid of players who are not taking part in the team, who haven't been playing, who you feel have got no future at the club. So, if you can, if anybody can come up with players that are that don't fit that criteria, then you're going to be, very fortunate.
Yeah, so that just highlights the difficulties, doesn't it, for the transfer window that not just you but everyone has.
Yeah, it's the same for everyone, but that doesn't mean that we won't try to bring in some players, and I'm hopeful that in January we can, make a couple of additions, and hopefully they'll strengthen the squad and give a bit more competition for places. But certainly we've got players that we need to cut down the size of the squad, and obviously that's going to be difficult as well.
So that's obviously something as well as bringing in. You've got to try and move some on, and that's sometimes more difficult.
Well, there's no good. It's no good adding to a squad at the moment that without we need some players to go in the opposite direction as well.
2 big games coming up. Is this a real good test for you and where your team is at in the league and what they are capable of?
I know what the players are capable of, but the 2 games will show how good Luton are and how good Notts County are, and obviously with the results that Luton have had and with the goals they scored, it would appear that they're much better than everybody else in the league. So of course it's going to be a big test for us.
Yeah, can you use that? Will the players use that? Will they harness that? Looking at the table, going, well, let's show them what we are capable of ourselves, and we might get a little bit more out of them.
I don't think we can get any more out of the players than what they're putting in at the moment. I think to get results in this league, and they have to play to their maximum. When they haven't played to the maximum, then we haven't got the results. So I think they've got to be at their very best, obviously, to get anything in the next 2 games. But we will see if we played our very best and if that's good enough to compete. But we may find that against Luton, Notts County, that isn't the case. But to give ourselves a chance, we have to be at our best, and then we'll see.
Yeah, so it's about performance for you. Is it about what the players give?
Well, there's no good worrying about the 2 teams we're going to face, because if we don't play at our best, we won't get anything. That's for definite. We could be playing the 2 teams at the bottom of the table, and if we don't play at our maximum, we won't win the games. So it's a case of trying to get our team to do everything right on the day, and do all the things that you need to win a game, and that'll give us a chance. But it only gives you a chance, nothing more than that.